That's how high Hurricane Ike floodwaters came in here.
Yep.
That blue mark.
About almost 8.5 feet. Now that's the standing water level, Chris. The folks that stayed in SMP during the storm, before it got, real dark, and the 100-mile-an-hour winds, they said the water was blowing over the rail cars in here, and that the rail cars were actually started floating until they finally filled up with water and settled down on the track. I was here during Hurricane Alicia. Where we're standing right here, the water was about 16 inches deep. It just barely got into the journal boxes on this rail car right here. And Hurricane Ike, the water level was up here. Santa Fe business car 403. We're selling it, and right next to it is the private car Anacapa. And that was one of our prized rail cars at the museum. Winston Churchill rode on that car, Eisenhower rode on that car, Truman rode on that car.
That one's for sale?
Yeah, it's got tremendous history behind it, and there's a lot of interest in it.
What's the going price, or do you want to say?
$50,000, and then you got to move it, and then you got to restore it. So, and I can help you with that. I can help you with all of that. Well, we lost all those murals because the water was in here, was over 7 foot. All the sheetrock was ripped off the walls, and I had this picture of the museum taken probably in the late 40s or early 50s. This is where you slept and rode. It's open berth sleeping.
That's the caboose that you give rides in? And you just bought this locomotive?
And you're doing how many on Saturday? 100 and something?
Between 100 and 130 riders for the from 11 to 2 on Saturdays. About every 20 minutes we make a run.
The plans for the future of the Galveston Railroad Museum is to remain on the island then?
Of course, yes. Yep. It looked pretty iffy after the storm. The damages were so great. With over $6 million worth of damages. Fundraising in this climate, was a tremendous challenge. The foundation, the Moody Foundation, was the first one to come on board and granted us a $100,000 grant. Numbers of people have come on board to help us out. The BNSF Railroad, the Union Pacific Railroad, Farmers Copper Marine here on the island, the Galveston Wars Railroad.
George Mitchell.
Yeah, Mr. Mitchell. We're going to name our locomotives after George. Well, it's not a secret. After George Mitchell and Cynthia Ann Woods, because without Mr. Mitchell's support, we wouldn't be acquiring new locomotives. He's just one of the little things.
He gave the originals.
Yep.